Okay, today we will look at an area which has been made rather confusing by a good number of teachers of GST. This is the area where one has to decide whether in a particular case, the party is eligible for ITC or not, or a party is eligible for input tax credit or not. This decision many a time has been complicated and made complex unnecessarily. In this session, what we will do is we will simplify it so much that you don't have to learn it. It will come naturally to you. You can judge it whether he is eligible or not. Please note, what is input tax credit? This is a credit given for an input, means it is a credit given for something which is used to make something, or which is repacked, dressed up and sold at a higher price. So input tax credit is given to an input basically, which is converted into an output. An output may be a processed product, a value-added product, a dressed up product, a slightly changed product, or the same product at a higher value when it changes hands. Now let's take a look at the video which will make things crystal clear. Please, video please, cross religion. Okay, look at the first screen. So on one side you have cases with reason why there is no ITC, and on the other side there is an exception, or that is the case where though the reason applies that there should not be any ITC, still the party gets ITC because there is an exception to the rule. Okay? Now let's say I buy a private car, my company buys an office car for my use, or my company buys a company car for executives. In all these cases, there is no ITC eligibility. Reason is simple and clear. Without a private car, the company can function. Without an office car, the company can function. Without a company car, the company can function. So these are not primary inputs. These are supplementary inputs. No ITC. Look at the other side. What is the exception? If a travel company buys a car or a transport company buys a truck, they are eligible for ITC. Why? The reason is crystal clear. Because a travel company cannot function without a car. A transport company cannot function without a truck. Or in other words, they are primary inputs. Okay, moving on to the next case. No, previous slide please. Next case. Okay. See, a company organizes a get-together, annual meeting or whatever. They are serving food and beverage, or they are taking the services of a catering company to serve excellent food for the executives, or the female executives of the company are actually sponsored to use the services of a cosmetologist or go to the beauty parlor so that they look good during the function. Or the senior executives of the company are offered a free health check at a nearby hospital, or some of them are given a cosmetic treatment. All these, as you can see, are not eligible for ITC because going to the beauty parlor is not a primary input without which the company cannot function. It is not a primary input. See, the catering for the annual get-together is not a primary input, obviously. But then look at the other side. A catering service supplying another catering service means, let's say, I have a catering company and you have a catering company. You are a specialist in biryani, so you serve biryani. I serve ice creams to you on which you add value and serve to the customer. So it's one catering service catering to another catering service. Here there is eligibility for ITC. Why? The reason is crystal clear. Because for a catering service to function, it needs all the food and beverages, which it can procure from another catering service. There is no hassle. It's a primary input. So there is eligible for ITC. Next slide, please. Now take the case of vehicle maintenance or insurance for a vehicle. Now, my company has a car which goes through the annual maintenance, and the insurance policy of the car is to be renewed annually. So for this there is no ITC, obviously, because it's not as if only if my car is serviced my company can function. No way. But look at the other side. For a vehicle manufacturer, the vehicle maintenance is an essential part of their input. The cars have to be maintained. So there it's a primary input, he is eligible. For an insurance agency, the insurance package is their primary business. So all the elements of the insurance package they are eligible for ITC. Look at the second case here. Life insurance, rent-a-car services, health insurance. These things the company may be offering to executives. But then they are not statutory. So there is no eligibility for ITC. But look at the other side. If the government orders that female executives of a company are to be transported in a reputed rent-a-car service, then they are eligible for ITC, because by order of the government, it has become an essential input, unavoidable input. Look at the next case. Many companies offer annual travel ITC. It's just a holiday for executives. Is it eligible for ITC? No, definitely no. It's not a primary input. But business travel is a primary input. It is eligible for ITC, without which business cannot survive. Look at the next case. Works contracts. Works contract on immovable property which is capitalized. See, means you are building an extension block for the factory. This is a capital investment. So for a capital investment, in this case, construction of an immovable property, you are not going to account it in your P&L. Or in other words, that year you are not going to generate revenue to make up for the investment on the immovable property. See, please note, to be eligible for ITC, the company should be generating revenue on that investment, and the investment should go to the P&L. Look at the other side. If it's a movable property, say for example, the servicing of my distribution trucks, servicing of my distribution trucks, or maybe even on the immovable property, a particular, say for example, to place the machine, we have to construct a concrete stand. Now this is going to the P&L account, or in that particular year itself, we are going to make up for that expenditure. We are going to generate revenue on that. So if it is immovable property value addition, which is accounted in that year's P&L, or it's on revenue basis, it's eligible for ITC. Obviously, because the government, when the government gives you input tax credit, you should generate revenue on it, or you should pay N tax on it and make up for the credit. Next page, please. So since this page we will discuss in the next session, because we don't have enough time in this session. Thank you very much. I hope you have understood thoroughly. Thank you.